Welcome back. This time around, we're gonna be rigging an body mesh, our character, to our MMD bone rig. This bone rig, let me turn off mesh, is just the basics of what you're going to need in order to get started with no extra fuss. The only extras that it has will be the breastbones and the butt bones. But you can delete those if you do not need them. The way I have set up this rig is I have the deform layer. So any bone, which is all this, that has any deformations, it's gonna be on this layer. So that way, if you're gonna wanna add new things to your model, you can just quickly just toggle that one in and set it up. And no problem without having to mess with any other layers or any other bones. The secondary layer here in the middle. This will be our IK bones for our feet and our pelvis control when you're gonna be moving your model sideways. The third layer, this is your positioning. So you're gonna move your model around in the world. This is going to be the bones you're gonna be using. For our purposes, we don't need this one, so we're not gonna even turn that one on. We're gonna be using this one as we do need these two bones to be in line with those. And in order to get those two layers on, you're gonna press shift and toggle that extra layer, and I have those two layers visible at once. Alright, so let's get started, and let me turn this one off. Let me show you this character. This body mesh I made pretty quickly. It's just the basics of your anime character you're gonna be using or any other model. Let me turn on the layers. So I section off the body in so you can be easily noticeable. We want to have our bones kind of set up in the distance where I have this guy's lined up. So let me toggle on the bones. There we go. So you're gonna wanna scale your mesh so you can roughly fit the size of your and the bones. You really don't want to shrink your bones or too much of them, or else your animations, if you're gonna be using MMD animations, are gonna be kind of wacky. So try to do as little bit of scaling to your bones as possible. Rather, move your mesh to kind of fit it, and at the end, all you have to do is scale down your whole entire model on the export or any other part. It's gonna make it a whole lot easier. Okay, so as you can see, like this model is shorter than the arms and going fit, so we're gonna have to adjust that. The bones also gonna need to be repositioned. This is gonna be our rib cage, so we want this bone to be roughly around here. So we control that. This was gonna be our pelvis one, so we want to push that one down to our crunch down here, but the endpoint we want it to be controllable right here, so we're gonna be editing those breastbones. They're gonna be positioned and adjusted if needed. If you got a male, you can just take those off. The butt bones as well are also optional. You can get rid of those. And then one thing we do need to move is the eye bones. These ones are gonna be placed down here. And we're gonna do a little trick with those so we can um, grab the mesh without moving the whole cranium on this whole side. So let's start with this. First of all, we toggle that off so it's not distracting. Go here and let's go to edit. You want to have your meter options. That way, if you move one side, the opposite side moves with it. So it's a whole lot easier. You also want to have your snapping, and you want to have it to the volume. This is going to snap your endpoints of your bones, like right smack in the middle of your mesh. And this helps a lot without you having to like tweak in and out. Let's start with the legs, since those we need to have a little tricky part. So we need to do the legs. At the same time, we also need to toggle this layer. So make sure you have this layer and that layer, toggle them off at the same time. So shift, toggle both of them on. And now we want to have this guys to be moving the same with the ones underneath. So as you can see, we have two bones overlapping each other. So that's the main reason why we want to have those two layers toggled on. So let's go to side view, press 3, grab that, and we want to put this ball right around your ankle. So grab those, gonna snap it there, and as you can see, like it snaps right inside of it. So we want to have it there. This guy is going to be your toes flex, where your toes are gonna be moving up and down. So for our model, we gonna separate it. So I want this endpoint to be right smack there, so the bones will move here pretty much in the toes. Not exactly the end of the toes, but slightly behind it, so around there. And I can just press that one and kind of shrink it. Doesn't really need to be that big. Also doesn't care if it's that big. Now this one I wanted to put it here. Almost like, let me put it right here. That way when I move the leg, it'll twist this one, it'll carry everything over. So it really doesn't need to be in the very tip, so let's put it right there. And we go to the front view. As you can see, this guy's did manage to be right smack in the center of the volume, which is exactly what we want. So that one's set. We can also toggle that off since we don't longer need it. Let's go to our knees. Also, let's go to our side view. Grab those and snap them right smack in the center of it. Ideally, you want your legs to be slightly bent. And this one's kind of straight, so it's not quite ideal. But ideally, you want to have your knees somewhere around in here. But for this one, we're gonna go with it as is. So we want our endpoint to be right smack in the middle. So I have this to be our middle, and that looks about right. All right, let's go to our leg bone. This one right here, we're gonna grab, and this is going to be our pivot point for our leg. And your pivot point, it's not up here. So in like real life, your pelvis, it is up here, but for our bones, we want this guy to be like right in the bottom of the crotch. That way, once you like move this part of the leg, it won't be twisting from up here and getting like really bad distortions. So this guy, we wanna have it right around there. So make sure that line, and also grab it and put it so it can snaps right in the center of your volume. And since we're right here, we can also move the butt ones like rough around there. All right, so this one, this one's probably gonna give you the most amount of trouble. So if you have some issues with your animations, this is going to be mostly the one you're gonna be modifying. So just to verify, we want to have that one in our pelvis, not around our belly button. So we can move that one down. So wrap around there. And let's grab that one and let's move it. Go to front view, first one. So roughly around there. So once we do the weight paint, we wanna weight paint all this area to have full control over this one. This one's gonna have full control over that one, and this little section is gonna be the gray zone, which we're gonna be able to deform. Not a full control over this one, and not a full control over that one, but a nice gradient between those two. And this is going to be your gradient section. All right, let's grab that view. And this one's not too big. We want to put it here on our rib cage. Let's move it there. And this one you can also move it down if you want. Just pretty much put it around the pivot point where you want to have your uh, torso to move side to side. Breastbones, roughly about there. Okay, so center the volume doesn't really work there. Let's go 3. That looks about right. And if you're going to be using the union physics for your, you want to have these ones at a 30-degree angle, not straight up, like not in a 45 degree, or kind of have like a slight little angle on it, and that way you can set up your physics that much faster. So we have those. Let's grab that and put it in our neck, which is right there. That as well, and it goes into our neck. Let's move it there, and our neck's right here. The top of the head, this one also doesn't really matter how big it is, so let's put it right around there. Now this little guy, this guy's gonna be controlling your eyeballs, so really don't need to do anything with this one. And actually I should have moved that one to a different layer so it's not bothering us there. Our eye bones, however, do need to be roughly around there, and you're gonna be tweaking those around depending on your model. You might even want to put them closer to your center of your nose. Depends on your pivot. Once you turn your eyeballs around, you might have a problem where your eye mesh is gonna be popping out of your skull. So just by moving these ones around, you move your pivot, you radius of it, and you're gonna have to tweak the size and distance so you have a nice little rotation inside of your socket. Since for anime models we don't have we're not using spheres, so you gotta move those around for getting that same effect. Let's grab our uh, shoulder bone. So this guy, I have also in my model, I have a little outline. Oh, grab that and place it there. This one, I want to have it right around here since that's my pivot point of the arm. So there. The elbow, I want to put it right here. So just grab that ball, place it there. For this one's is a little bit more tricky. Just grab it all and make sure you have the ball, and you're gonna snap the ball right there. So we want to risk someone to have some pivoting around too much. All right, so we'll move that one down a bit more. So here's gonna be our bend area of our hand. All right, so that one's good. Let's grab that one, go here, and kind of put it there in the center of this volume. Since this bone is going to be controlling all these ones, the size of this one also doesn't really matter. You make it pretty small, pretty big. You're just going to extrude the control. Let's grab this one. So for this one, you can press Control plus, and you can select down the chain or up the chain as well if you have more things. But here, so we can grab them all at once. Move those here, and let's scale it down like that. Okay, so around there. So that endpoint is where we want it to be. Oops, too many. Grab those, select that endpoint there. Next, select that one, and let's put it to our very tip. And this joint, let's put it right here. All right, so that's what's going to be twisting here. That one's going to be twisting from here. Same thing for this one's. Got that one and select. Let's grab it here. Bring them down a bit more. All right, so here, let's grab that endpoint, place it there. Place it there. And looks like I'm missing a loop here, which let me add that one. Control R. Place it there. Let's go there. Go back to edit mode on that. So that one we want it there. This one, yes, that one. Controller that we need to also move that loop higher. Select those GG, place it around there. Edit, grab. Alright, so that looks more like a finger. And let's see if I didn't do the same mistake with the other ones. Alright, grab that, place it around there. Grab that, place it there. Grab that, place it there. And then the tip. Okay, so that one looks good. You can also do one by one. Grab that one there. Come on, there. All right. So we have our tiny fingers set, arms set, and because we have the mirror modifier, we have the opposite side already set. So if you forget to place this, so let me see, let me just toggle it off. If you move one side, it's only happening to one side. So you have to redo the whole entire thing in the opposite side, and that's going to be a pain in the ass. So make sure you have that toggle on up here. And we have our bones pretty much set up the way we want them. Let's toggle that one on. That's just a control for our pelvis. These guys are aligned with each other. And this one is really nothing we need to worry about. That one and that one. Okay, so next step. From here, make sure you save. You should have saved a couple versions behind, but we have this part. So now our bone is attached to a body. For the most part, you can just do the weight paint, and depends on your model. Blender will automatically weight paint your model, and you're gonna have to do a little bit of tweaking. But in worst case scenario, it's gonna give you an error, and you have to weight paint it manually. There's another add-on that if this one kind of breaks it, I'm gonna be using. So let's set up the weight paint. Say control. Let me see if I can remember this right. Here, control P. Nope. Grab a mesh, and then our bones. I always get those in reverse. We want to select with automatic weights. This is gonna project our bones and like make a little bubble, and it's gonna put the weights around our body. So let's see if this works. It did. All right. If you have, for instance, a little bone sticking out, it's going to give you an error. But for this one, it did not. Let me see if I can replicate that one a bit. Let me toggle that on. Grab. And we have our armature. That's already pretty decently weight painted. Okay, so as you can see, our model bends where we want it to. As you can see, we have a little pelvis area, and these bones are not taking control over it, so it's not making big deformations. Now you can move the leg to the side, move it above. You're getting that nice little pinch right here. To the side one, you ideally want to have a, let me see, G, oh, rotate on X. Okay, it's not doing the rotation on that one. Oh, here. So you want to move the leg that way. You ideally want to also twist your leg up a bit. That way you don't have that weird deformation. And to reset your model, you can select all. Press R will reset your rotations. G will reset your positionings. And Alt S will reset any scales you have done. So for instance, I'll press S and scale my arms. So that's a scale issue. Press Alt S and that will reset that little scale issue. Okay, so our weight painting worked and we need to do very little tweaking. Let me, however, undo. Let me go on to where I did the parenting. Parent. So what's all the way here? Let me see. Nope, it was behind. Keep on undoing. I want to go to where is it that I want to transfer? Okay, so our armature is not set to our body just yet. This version, so select our mesh. Select our mesh, select our bones, OK, with automatic weights, and that did our parenting, and it was correct this time around. Let me undo that one. So now, if I go here, our mesh is not parented. Let me edit the bones just a bit. Let me do this because I think this is the most times of the error. So let me put this one outside of the mesh. And let me just do the parenting. Oh wow, it's still doing it. Huh. When I wanted to do some errors, it's not letting me. But usually, if you have something like this, like a piece of bone that's not really attached to your armature, it will give you an error. This time around, let's see, how can I break this? So, will you break now? Okay, I give up. It's working right now, no matter what I do. Okay, so let's move on, and let's fix the eyes, which that will not have a good parenting. Automatic weights. Let's go to post mode. Okay, so that still works. Let me zoom into the eyes. And this god awful thing happens. So we want to get rid of any kind of parenting this guy has and only have the um, controls for the eyes and nothing else. So the head moves everything, this moves everything around, and this guys will control both of your eyes. But since right now they're controlling the whole entire mess, you have this god awful thing. Alright, so select that bone. We okay, so go, nope, nope, post mode, grab that, and we want to go to weight painting, grab this, grab that. You can go to weight paint or alt and tab and go to weight painting. You want to select that bone. In here you have it control all this part of your mesh, and we really don't want any of that. So you can go to edit, first your vertex. Also don't need to have color in this one, and let's select anything that this bone is currently attached to. So if it grabs anything else on the body, this is gonna highlight it. If you press select, let's remove everything from it. So now we go to the vertex group and press select. It has none now. Let's tap out of that. Let's control and click our next bone. And now we're gonna do the same thing. Go to tap, edit mode. Now you have the right side. Press select, and that has control over all that now. Gonna remove it. Okay, so now we're in a mixture between weight paint and edit, so you can still move your bones around. Press control and click on your bone, and now you can select it. Okay, so now we don't have this one and this one being control over the bone, but we want this bone to also grab the eyelashes and the eyebrows, and right now they're currently not. So we can also go to tap mode while we have the head selected. Ideally you want to have your face selection for this one. You can press hover over whatever mesh you want, and right now since we grab our head bone, it give us our vertex group for the head. You can easy selection. Hover over your mesh that you want to have full control. Grab that one, grab that one, grab that one, and that one. And now we're gonna assign it. Make sure you have the full assign if you want to have full control over it. Now if we move our head bone, those are fully parented the way we want it. Now let's do it the same thing for our eye bones. Make sure you click away. We have our eye left. Go in there, click on that, and then we have all the mesh selected, and press assign. Go back, and we have that one eye fully control. Let's do the same thing for this one. Control tab, remove that one, and it's not doing squat. So press tab. We have our vertex. Make sure you click away, unselect anything you had previously. Hover over your mesh, and L, select any of the attached mesh, and then press assign. With this, press R, and we have our model fully integrated. So this pretty much concludes our way how to have our model rigged inside of Blender. You will have to do some editing for the fingers. Let me do one before I finish this off. But it's going to be the same thing as we did with the eyes. Make sure we have that full control. So let's go paint mode, select that one. And it's really not doing a bad job here. But since these bones are pretty close to each other, this one's going to be projecting to the other side. Which apparently this one did a good job. Okay, there's no need to edit this one. This one. No, this one didn't give me any errors. It's too far away from anything else. Okay. So it would be pretty much the same thing as, let me get rid of here in the back and just pretend that we had this now having control and you didn't want that, right? So we can go to edit, we can have selection, and you can see everything's selected. Let's go to our vertex select, and ideally you just want to grab one vertex over here and press Control plus and kind of go all the way around your finger that you don't want to have any control over. Just remove. And let me do the same thing over here since you didn't grab those. And let's press remove, grab that, and now if you move it, it's no longer attached to that bone anymore. So the main issues you're gonna have problem is any bones that are too close to each other, it's gonna overlap, and mainly the eye bones. Let's get out of here and let's call it. Control save. This model is fully set. Let's do a little test. Let's go MD, grab our bones. Let's import emotion. Yeah, whatever. Hold here. Make sure your scale is right, and you have treat your current pose, which is going to be that one, as our current one. And let's press play. And we have an error. Okay. Let's go back and see if we can fix that one issue. Control here and here. And that was because I got rid of the weight paint I did to the other side, but I did not do it to this one. So which one? Yes, the one that I screwed up. Oh, okay, so that one it is attached to that finger. And for some reason, our armature is floating as well. Okay, so I'm painting that one. It's painting over here. It should not. Okay, so you have this issue where the mirror is not working. You need to toggle that off. So let's turn that off. And let's do a full paint. Or we can just do the blur brush. So you can just mix those in. And it's not having a full control over these fingers. Point here, here. Huh. It's as if something else has control over it. Let's wait. Hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, so this is the manual tweaking wants to be done. It goes back in there. Control tab, let's get out of here. Select this one. Select that. So our scale is 1. Our scale is 1. And there we go. Some. Oh, I think I understand why. Let's delete that. Okay, this is a first. Why is this getting offset? And also, I got rid of the motion. Oh, wait. I think I was screwing around with something beforehand. I did. Here we go. Stupid me. I still need to fix that issue. Okay, so beforehand I have this rigid body world physics on the body, since it was doing that weird thing. Okay, let's go to bone layers, like that. Post, select all. Let's go back and let's delete. And delete all those. Alright, so it's not doing it. Let me once again import a new motion. Let's go and post. And now the model is following set for that one error. Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out. Zoom in to the model. Oop. It's like it's parented to something else entirely. Select that, select that. Nope. Select bones, then mesh. So that one has no control. Alright, so can't quite figure it out from here. One thing we can do is toggle our, just go up and down for your key, and here we go. This one is selecting that one, so let's select that. Let's go to our clear view. Make sure you have selected all those. Control plus plus, and let's remove that one. Okay, that might have been our issue. Let's press the motion. Yep. So a bone from this side was controlling this part of the arm, and thus making it wacky. So in order to fix that, just make sure you're in your weight paint, and you can visually see what bone is, or what vertex group is highlighted. And like, for if you're like me, if you don't understand Japanese, and this is the best way to figure out like what's what. So for instance, this bone is controlling this one, and if you see something glow elsewhere in the body where it's not supposed to, that's your problem. Just go to edit, grab whatever you're not supposed to, and just remove it. And that's the easiest way to find little solutions for your problems like that. Now you have your model fully rigged, and all now you have to do is the minor adjustments of the weight painting. But if you're lucky like this, Blender will do a good job and pretty much do the weight painting almost for you. All right, this I'm calling it, and I'll see you guys later.